You know, the entire world is made up of sound and light. Tesla came up with this ideal. He actually understood that electrons were not the smallest particle. That even electrons, neutrons, all this was made up of light. And every bit of light is affected by sound and vibration. We've discovered in the last few years that, well, she figured this out years ago. I mean, you can read it. There are numerous things, but we figured out that you can levitate things with sound. You can destroy things with sound. You can cut objects with sound. That's why they hadn't figured it out exactly, but that's why these ancient structures are so cut so precisely, lifted so well, and with cranes we couldn't lift these things with today, and put together so tightly that you can't even stick a razor blade between them. How they built structures like the pyramids exactly within 3/16 of an inch from exactly due north or whatever. And in all reality, it probably is exactly due north. I mean, with absolute precision, megalithic boulder granite things. They traveled 200 miles, or maybe it's 500 miles with. And they can't figure out how they did it because supposedly they weren't that advanced. But these people understood vibration. They understood that you take a tuning fork with pure silver tuned to the harmonic frequency of whatever object you're using, and you can cut it through like a hot knife through butter. And I'm sure of this. They know how to harness the sun like a laser beam and use it better than the lasers that we use today, or some other transference of things. I mean, but they do know that sound can cut, move, everything. They're just now starting to hit tip the iceberg on it. And I was listening to a man today, and it sounds perfect with the way it was originally written in the Bible. And he says this too. Everything was brought into creation with the sound of a voice. They spoke it into creation. Hawa, our mother and father, spoke it. One mind, one thought, one voice. Spoke it into existence. Every sound has a vibration and creates a pattern. And sound is infinite. It never goes away like a spirit. It's always there. When every syllable that's coming out of my mouth right now will be in space for the rest of eternity. Because sound is infinite. And if you take a piece of paper and put it over a speaker and put glitter all over it and play a frequency, it'll make a picture. This is absolute. Whatever frequency you play, it'll make a different picture. Because sound has a frequency, it creates things. So their voice created the mountains and the air and the sun and the stars and the moon and us. Everything you see on earth, every flower has a purpose. It's not just pretty and smells good, but it actually has a medical purpose. Every plant out there you can use to help you in some way. They created it that way. People do not realize how we're all junctified with things. I've been trying to retrain my mind that because they've gotten us so screwed up about everything. You know, what's medicine, what's drugs, what's this and that. I mean, anything natural is pure. You know, they take natural things and turn them into drugs. Cocaine is not pure. But coca is. It is a mild pain reliever. It does basically the same thing caffeine does with a little bit of pain reliever in it. But you get caffeine out of all kinds of things. I mean, coffee beans and cocoa beans, and I mean, but these natural things are good for us in moderation. Everything in moderation. Anything in excession can be bad. Anything in moderation can be good. You just gotta figure out how everything works. You know, I mean, right now I'm making something that is antifungal, anti-inflammatory, immune booster. I mean, it's just honey and garlic cloves. You mix it all, you peel the garlic cloves, put them in a jar, cover them with honey, let them sit for about a month. Let the pressure, let the CO2 out because it will start bubbling and causing CO2. But after about a month, you have something you can take every day and pretty much knock out anything. I'm going to take a teaspoon tomorrow just to see if I can knock out whatever's trying to hit me right now. Maybe getting COVID or something, I don't know. I've had it once before, I'll get over it. But, and Hala Hawa, I mean, they've given me everything I need. I mean, for the last 4 months, I've lived on absolute grace. Never missed a meal. Never always ended up with bills paid. Not that we have a lot of bills to pay, but got a roof over my head, clothes on my back. I mean, still working on getting things better around here, but you know, life wouldn't be worth living without a little bit of struggle. You know what I mean? But it's more spiritual struggle. You know, they try to help us get stronger. The time is coming. The sides are being drawn because the evil people are trying to collect up all the Hawa stuff with the Ark of the Covenants and whatever. I mean, trying to change the commandments, trying to make themselves God, trying to glorify everything and everybody, and trying to make everything that is wrong right. And it's been a process that they've been working on for over 100 years, and it's getting to a boiling point. Aleister Crowley, which I guess is not a great person to quote, but actually had a point. He said that he couldn't open the gateway to the other dimension because there wasn't enough iniquity in the world. But eventually, after his death, there would be enough iniquity to open the gateway. And what they're doing with CERN, what CERN is doing with the proton collider is trying to open a portal, and some people say that they did already. And that's why we're having a mixings of things of the Mandela effect, where people think they've seen something that never actually happened or seen it before it happened. You know, I mean, it's actually why it's named the Mandela effect. It's because they thought somebody died. They didn't die until 20 years later. But everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people remember seeing the news or story come out about this Mandela guy dying. But really study light vibration because it is affecting so much stuff. And I'm telling this because we gotta retrain ourselves. We gotta be retrained because we're taught by the enemy. Now, I've said this and I've just recently got it. That all people are people. But not all people are human. And not all humans are human beings. Not all people are people. It means everybody you see out here are people. But not all these people are human. Human is a different breed of people. It's like my people. They're human. It's a little, just doesn't have, even if it has that Nephilim in it, which, I mean, the bloodlines are so mixed these days. I mean, most of us probably have a little bit of something in us. But we're choosing to be what Hawa wants us to be, their children. And to be their children, we have to follow the laws and act like them. One of the laws is to emulate them. We were created to be a higher being. To be their children. Truly like their children. They are our mother and father. And we're created to be like them. We have to achieve that. It's a choice. It's obedience to do what they wanted us to instead of what we want to do. And people hate obedience. I mean, absolutely hate it. But that's what the whole thing is. It's the whole ideal is to do what they want us to do and become better. And once you get to that point, then you're a human being. Because you're being human. That's why humanity means kindness. Because people aren't kind, but humans are. People are not understanding and humble and compassionate. But human beings are, and humans are. And sometimes we have to be the lions to fight off the wolves. So we have to be strong. Not all of us, but most of us have to be strong. We're the head, not the tail. We're the leaders, not the followers. Like I said, like I always say, keep studying, keep growing. I got a couple of new subscribers. If you're listening, thank you. We got some old subscribers. If you're listening, thank you. Hope everybody finds something they enjoy. If I don't put a whole lot of stuff on my website because I don't know how to upload a lot of things. If you have questions, get a hold of me. We can exchange emails. I will email you this stuff, or I'll send you to the places that you need to know if you're really rocking with it. I mean, there's all kinds of information out there. Mostly, I just let you know what I know and see if you like it. As always, Allah Hawa, and may you be blessed.